What's up, Travel Chronicles, chapter 87, I think. Pretty sure. I did take a look yesterday. I wasn't planning on doing one today, but what's the best part of being 0-2? That's not a thing. Nobody's ever said that. But that's where the boys' basketball program is after dropping their second game to Buckeye Local. 48-46. So I don't know if they'll break 50 in a game. It's going to be rough. Because that would have been the team where you think you could score some. I have no idea what their schedule is, what it looks like. But boy, it's going to be rough if you can't beat them. They may be the worst team in the Buckeye 8 South. And that's a shame because, man, it did not have to be this way. Like, I know somebody that could help get 2 points. He's good. Like, he's actually really good. But what a shame when you got, well, I'll say, like, out of your top 11 from last year, you got 8 of them that don't come back. And only 4 of them from graduation. Right? You had... Yeah, you have 4 graduate, and then you had 4 that have quit, and they're all juniors and seniors. You had 3 seniors walk away from the program. 1 starter, 6-man, and a kid who did really good on the JV team last year, who was improved, right? Which is what you want in high school. You want somebody to continue to improve, and it could probably, actually spell some guys for a couple minutes at the varsity level, not be an issue. Honestly, like, in all seriousness, like, if you had a decent coach, he could sub that guy for a couple of minutes, let him do some stuff, feel good about himself, feel like he's helping the team, and keeping him engaged in the game, and feel like he contributed. Like, he improved enough that you could do that. And he may not be a starter, but I mean, he can still fill a role as a 6th or 7th man. Then the other kid you lose as a junior is going to be probably your 6th man if everybody comes back. But then, you lose the 2 seniors, so now he's going to be a starter, and then he doesn't want to play. So 4 out of your top 7, probably for this year, gone, and it's 100% coaching, 100%. And I'm not saying I'm against, you got to be tough on these kids. You got to be tough on them. You got to be hard on them, or else they won't learn. You got to yell at them. You got to get on them. That's fine. But these kids aren't stupid. You have to have a method to the madness. Like, there has to be a result out there that's worth being yelled and screamed at that justifies it. Right, when you're losing in the first round of the sectional, the kids are like, "Whoa, what? What were you yelling at me for? Why can't I shoot?" Like, that's the result. Well, what happened if I would have shot the ball? What would happen if I developed and became a better shooter during the season? Tell me I can't shoot. Tell me I can't handle the ball. Why don't you yell at the other kid that made a mistake 3 times in a row and turned the ball over? You don't yell at him. You're going to pull me out of the game? I'm the 6th man. Or getting yelled at in practice, that's not your effing job. Don't take that effing shot, even though that's what we just practiced the day before. It's like, oh, no, you're supposed to run here. Well, I thought the big was out in front on the fast break. No, that's stupid. It's stupid. The only time a big's going to be out there is when you're completely out of rotation. They tried to block a shot, and missed it, and then there was a long rebound and came out, and they're just having to be way ahead of everybody. You just throw it down to them, and that's it. That's the fast break. That's not even a break. But I watched the game yesterday, and it was just bad. It was bad. It's bad basketball. Very little development in players from year to year. you're a good player, cool. If you're not a good player, you're not going to become one. You're not going to develop the ball handling, the shooting skills. It's just not a requirement, and that's where this program is falling apart. It's the work outside the program is not getting done. The first year when he took over, he had 8 seniors, and that was probably the worst thing that could happen to him, right? Because here's 8 guys who have been in the program, that stayed in the program, which is crazy. That had won, before in the junior high, and they like playing together. They want to play together, so they're going to come out and do their best, and they're physically more mature. They're faster, stronger. Just better basketball players than these other teams, and they beat a lot of teams. I think they won 20 games. He's going to be lucky to win 20 games over the next 3 years. Serious. And it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, they could have had a team this year. If those 2 seniors came back, they'd return. Well, it's not 5 stars, but I mean, 5 guys who did start at some point, due to injury and suspension. It should have been playing since he was sophomore. but they were to return, 5 guys that started that were, well acquainted with the varsity level. And then, you have some other athletes you can play 6 and 7 coming off the bench. They could have won an OVAC title. I think they could have. Especially since they dropped down a level. Now it's going to be a struggle to win. I don't know, they may not win a game. Maybe a struggle to win 5 games, but they may not win 5. And the bad thing is, like, the development part, like, the reserve coach is so bad. Like, and you got parents screaming after 2 games about how, playing time ain't fair. They eked out a 2-point win, 25-23. He only scored 25 points in a reserve game. And the whole time, he's just shaking his head, hands on his hips, shaking his head. It's a horrible attitude. I don't know how these guys have existed there for 3 years. You won an OVAC championship, you won a Buckeye 8 championship with 8 guys that you had nothing to do in their development. Nothing at all. They already knew what they were going to do. And, they knew how to play with each other. So, that really wasn't on the coaching staff at all. Just, I don't know. I did not get it. And I know it's high school sports. It's debatable how much people actually care about it, how much the administration cares. Like, hey, look, we have a team. It's a hard year. They'll probably just look the other way. But all these other teams dealt with the exact same circumstances. And, the kids are coming back. They didn't come back because of COVID. Because, you had one kid go to another school to play football. So, it's not the sport that he cares about. He left the school. Because he wanted to play basketball his senior year. Another kid run across country, so being in a sport, competing, that's not an issue. And another kid transferred. Another kid, the junior that quit, I think he played football. It's not like they weren't. It's not like they're just sitting at home going, "Oh, I'm so scared of coronavirus. I don't want to play sports." That's not it at all. The bad thing is, like, the coach is a good teacher. He's a good teacher, it just doesn't translate to the basketball court. Like, there's some type of disconnect. I've talked about it before, but it's like, if that guy was teaching your kids in the school, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy's the worst teacher ever. But teaching, it's fine. It's the basketball coaching that's not coming across or doesn't get it. I seen a post last night where somebody was complaining about how the kids aren't playing, they're not developing the players, and I'm thinking, you got to have a coach that knows something to develop a kid. Some of these parents don't know a lot about basketball. They know their kid's a good athlete. They know their kid's fast. He can outlead people. He can hustle. At the reserve level, that should be playing time at a minimum. And you try to develop that raw talent into actual basketball talent, but you have to know how to do it. They just don't have it. It's going to be. I don't know. Maybe I'd come back and revisit post 87, but I'd say it's going to be a long 3 years. This year and the next 2 is very much. 8th grade class is pretty good. I'm not sure how the 7th grade class is, but 8th graders got some players if they hang around, if they decide to go there. Because right now, I would tell anybody who's thinking about sending their kid there to play, if that's their number one sport, if that's what they care the most about, don't go there. Absolutely do not. And you may start day one or be a varsity player day one. It doesn't matter. Look at this kid that's playing right now, who's been a varsity starter from day one, freshman year. Should go over 1,000 points. He hates it. He's miserable. He's just putting his time in because of how bad it is. I'm sure if he wasn't out there to get 1,000 points, if he didn't have some milestones to get, then it wouldn't even be worth doing. But you put your head down, trudge through, and try to make your mark. That's all you can do as an individual. I mean, it's sad, but that's what that's become. It's almost an individual type sport. But if you, right now, I would seriously look at Bridgeport. I would rather send my kid down there to play basketball. Football, cross country, baseball. I mean, I don't know how the other football cross country teams don't exist. Golf is. But I would rather play basketball down there, honestly. And the bad thing is that coach is a Ferry coach. He was from Fair. Somehow he gets it. That's it for today. It's so disappointing. I don't root against these kids. Don't get me wrong. I don't root against these kids. I wish there was some way for the kids to win and the coaches still would lose. Because I root against him. And that's not even saying he's caused my wife a lot of pain already. But he's never been mean to me or anything. Just not a good. He's been mean to my kid. Made my kid hate basketball. So I don't like that. Especially when I put so much time. We put so much time in playing one-on-one, coaching his teams when he was younger. Now get here his senior year, and he's not playing because the coach made him hate basketball. And I bit my tongue. Man, I don't know. Who's gonna watch this? Right, thousands of people, millions, the millions. That's a rock reference. Check it out. But I don't know if I'm gonna end up saying something just because of how bad it is. Maybe now's the time to say something in the hopes it would turn around and you can say, well, at least I got him straight now. But I feel bad for Smitty. Senior year, everybody's played with for the last 6 years has abandoned him. Now it's a completely new cast. One kid came back, another senior did come back. I think that was just for the letter, though. Just to say he did it. Because So if he had stayed the other 3 years, I don't know if he'd be back either. That's how bad it is. Like, you can handle 2 years of it, but it's just not worth the third, fourth year. All right, well, that's all I got. See you later. Be careful. Be COVID free.